right, so modernization, modernize, is a buzzword right now. There's a lot of information going out there, but what are we really talking about when we talk about modernize? It's not about changing just for the sake of change. It's not about changing to be with the cool kids. When we talk about modernize, we're talking about the systems and the capabilities that we have today do not match what our customers want and demand. And so Jeff gave us a couple of points, and I'm going to talk through, organizations are choosing to modernize for a myriad of reasons. I'm going to highlight 3 specific ones. So one, most obvious one, is costs. Jeff gave you $80 billion. That's the fiscal 17 budget. The fiscal 18 budget for the federal government is $90 billion. $90 billion. Who here works for or with the federal government right now? How many? Keep your hands up if you're working on a modernization effort. All right, great. Yeah, and as he said, 80% of that money, so $72 billion, is being spent on just maintaining those legacy systems. Now, Congress realizes that this is a big deal, and they're introducing a fund that's going to dedicate money to modernizing within agencies, because 80% is the average. Some agencies are spending upwards of 90% of their budget on maintaining old systems. And it's not just dollars, right? We also know that hiring and retaining people to work on these systems is time-consuming and costly in ways that affect our organizations. So what's another reason that organizations are modernizing? Or rather, it's being forced on them. It's digital disruption. And digital disruption isn't about just creating a new digital system. It's about rethinking our business models to meet customer needs. Anybody recognize this logo? Yeah, Napster, one of my favorite ones. So 18 years ago, Napster totally revolutionized the way that we get, did I just make people feel old? Sorry. The way that we get music, right? So Blockbuster, I hear that they actually still exist. Didn't know that. We used to buy music in brick and mortar stores and paid a lot of money for it. Now we are looking at, we pay for streaming subscriptions, right? And Napster led the way. More recent one, Lyft and Uber. Lyft and Uber didn't just upgrade the taxi dispatch service. They rethought what the business model should look like to connect customers with drivers. And they did it with mobile technology and GPS. And just think about how quickly they went from startup to global access. Battery storage. The cost of storing energy in batteries has dropped from what you could buy for $1,000 just a year or 2 ago, you can now buy for around $200. And this means that the utilities companies are next for digital disruption. They have to re-envision what their business model is going to be. Now, I highlight these three industries to show that no industry is immune to digital disruption. And a number of our speakers today are going to talk about what their organizations have done to respond and lead the way. Now, the third reason that I want to call out that organizations look at modernizing is security, data breaches. It's not if you will get a breach, it's when. So all the logos that are popping up here represent the biggest data breaches of 2017. It's June, and these are just the biggest. And in fact, I think I actually ran out of space for logos. So we have to re-envision what our systems look like. We can't just move from an old server to a new server. We have to apply different techniques and different architectures to make sure that we are quickly identifying and we are limiting the access that people can get when they get in our systems. So our lineup of speakers today, we are really excited because they're going to cover these topics and they're going to go a lot more in depth. They're going to talk about the lessons they've learned, the tips that they have for being successful, and the techniques that they've used to modernize. I hope that you find today a great opportunity to build and share your knowledge as it relates to modernization. And I hope you can be successful in your next modernization effort.